Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today we're going to continue our conversation about different morphs. Today's all about Pinstripe. So man, get your suits on, right? Get your gangster suits on with your pinstripes, get to looking good, or if you're more into your cars, you can pinstripe your car. Wherever you think the name came from, all I know is it came from Brian Barczyk. He was the first one to create pins. Actually, wasn't the first one to create them. I should change that. He was the first one to import them from the wild to America, and start to work with Pinstripe, bringing them to North America out of just Africa from the importers.
How much the first ones went for?
Oh God, it was expensive. I want to say it was 4-digit marks for sure, or 5-digit marks.
25. I think it's 25,000 a piece.
It's 25,000 a piece. I'm not going to charge you that though. I'm going to give you a heck of a discount. As a matter of fact, you call me and if you said I want to buy a Pinstripe from you for 10% of that 25,000, I hook you right up. Don't do it. They're not even worth that anymore. They're not a super valuable morph, but they do a lot of cool stuff. They do add a lot to combos you do need to have in your collection. Let's start talking about Pinstripe. And you have to start, right, only one way, with the OGs. So this is my original Pinstripe. Ta-da-ta-ta-ta. Now, I'm going to get to show you something really cool if she stays put. Don't let her run away, Kurt. And when we talk about her, it's a straight up Pinstripe. I'm going to show you, if it doesn't bite the piss out of me, a scaleless head pin. Because there's been a lot of talk about scaleless and scaleless head. We'll probably do an entire video like this on scaleless head, although we don't have the full scaleless version. Some people have said, you know what, it changes the pattern even just in scaleless head form. So I'm going to set it there and let you be the judge. I think it does. I think it's way more broken myself, but it's definitely not so dramatic. It's a pretty subtle thing. You can see it's almost very spotted, very broken, everything else going on with it. And the only two genes in that are going to be scaleless head and pin. So here you have a regular pinstripe and a scaleless head pinstripe. Now you're thinking, well, the color's a lot brighter too, man. There's a scaleless head portion right there on his head. But you would be right, they are a lot brighter. But part of that is age. Pinstripe is a morph that's similar to like pastel, is going to darken with age a significant amount. So the snake being much younger is going to be much brighter. That's just kind of how it works. I think she's also, oh yeah, much more pregnant. Good girl. Or as you say in the snake world, if you want to be all scientific, she's gravid. Actually, I don't think she's may not be gravid yet. We may still be building, but get in there, baby. But she's probably going to give me eggs. That's what I say. So anyway, scaleless head pinstripe, you're going to get a little bit more broken pattern. Possibly it's a little bit, cleaner, as people seem to think. Some people do think they're a shade brighter. I think some of that is wishful hope that if this proves out or doesn't prove out, that at least, if it doesn't prove out the scaleless is viable, the scaleless head still is doing something. Remains to be seen because there's a lot of different individual morphs. I do want to show you the head on that. So we're talking about pinstripe. This is a scaleless pinstripe. This one has not got a lot of scaleless head, but definitely enough that it's 100% scaleless head. I mean, you can also with the Vin scale. We have some that are more with it. And I won't get into some of the ways to identify that. I'll save that for the scaleless head video. Let me put this one back up. You ready to go back up? You are? Okay, I'll put you back up. But you're going to see several that are actually, whoop, about stuck in the wrong damn thing. You get in there. Let go. Get in there. You stay. I need you later. No, I don't. Yeah, I do. I do need you later. But the next one I want to show is, and again, you're going to have a lot of these. This also happens to be a scaleless head, but that's not our focus here. This is a lemon blast. So this is pastel and pin. This is a breeding female. He was one we purchased and brought in. Breeding male, sorry. Good catch. A breeding male was one we purchased and brought into our collection. It came from Constriction, came from Constriction Addiction. So really, really respectable source there. I try to use people I either know or have really good reviews. I didn't know him at the time, but he had really good reviews and still does. And, cool dude. So anyway, you can see it's going to brighten the color. Again, there may be something to it because you do have a lot of broken pattern, right? So maybe there is something to the scaleless head changing things more so than just a straight up pinstripe. But we'll do a lot of comparisons on that. Now, on here, what we're really looking for is you can see the pastel influence. It's all brighter than the other ones I showed you. You can see the yellow color coming in there. Obviously, a little bit of blushing coming in. It's kind of getting a little bit wide there at the bottom on a lot of those. That's pretty telltale signs. And this is your lemon blast snake. I mean, to a T, this is what you're looking for. But let's crank that up a notch, shall we? Put the little lemon blast up. He's never been a very big male, but he's always gotten the job done for me. This is a male I have had to rotate out of the breeding before, and I'll explain that in a video sometime as well, why we tend to do that. So, unfortunately, this little snake is in shed. So you have to use your imagination a little bit. I don't have a whole bunch of these, but I do have this one. So we're going to show it to you even though it's in shed. It'll still get the point across. And this is a Killer Blast. This one is not scaleless head, but this is a super pastel pin. And as you can see, the blushing is cranked up. The colors are turned up quite a bit. You would really be able to see that if its head wasn't in blue. You can see it's in blue right there. The head is definitely a lot different color. So it just is a lot brighter, a lot lighter, kind of like you would expect. It's very similar to what a killer bee versus a bumblebee does. They're also going to hold their color much better when you have the super pastel versus single pastel gene. That doesn't mean they won't darken. They will. If you wanted to stop that, you need to add fire. But really cool looking snake. Killer Blast, something I wanted to make. It took me forever to make one of these, but I finally did. And, well, it's still here for a reason. I made a handful of them, but this was the one I decided to keep. So I really dig these, and you can see it's being a ball python. This is going to set in a ball. Almost a peach color coming through here. And that's while it's in shed, so like it's even brighter when it's out. So really cool animals. I think that these are overlooked a lot. And when I say it's overlooked, what tends to happen is Pinstripe's an old gene, Pastel's an old gene. You're using old genetics to make this, right? It's not the latest, greatest, shiniest new thing. You know, and I like cars, so I'm going to use cars for a comparison, right? Let me put this one back. So in my love of cars, for those that don't know, I'm kind of a Corvette nut. That's what I really truly am. Let me get the banana pin out. And with that, would I love to have a brand new Z8, Z51 with every option, bells and whistles? Hell yeah, I would. That's like those new morphs out there. Everybody wants that. But do I really like to have, you know, like a 1963 split window coupe? Yeah, I would. That's the classic stuff. So now again, that's very rare. This isn't as rare, so there's that. But there should still always be an eye towards some of those classic genes and classic morphs and classic beauty. People forget about them, they quit making them, but when you got people coming into a reptile show, they're getting their first or second snake or third snake, and they see something like that they're not seeing over the table because you used to see it all the time, they're going to be drawn to it. So take my word, you need to work on some of those staples. You need to have those staples in what you're doing. It shouldn't be all about just having the newest thing or the highest profit thing. Like, you need some of that. We're working some stuff like that, but having the bases covered is good. This is an animal that I think is worth more than the sum of its parts when they're babies. They do not look as good, if I'm being totally honest, as adults, I don't think. But man, as babies, they are a striking combo. What you have here is a simple banana pin. Nothing else going on. Banana pins are awesome, man. They're just awesome. I love the orange hues you get at the bottom. I love the purple pinstriping, the head color. That bruise color is just gorgeous. You can't really go wrong with the banana pin. I'm telling you, man, you take these things to a show, they're going to fly off the table for you. You're going to make good money on them. Are you going to make $1,000 a baby? No, you're not. But that's your goal. You're doing the wrong damn thing anyway. Or you're probably not learning from my channel because you've been doing this a very, very long time at that point. It's not what most people are making per baby on every baby. Some babies, yes, but these things will pay the bills, man. Sell quick, make you that good, honest income. They're just a beautiful, beautiful animal. Like, I love when I hatch banana pins. They're literally still one of my favorite things to see crawl out of an egg. The colors are just out of this world. And when I first got into ball pythons, understand, bananas were still like 8 to 10 grand. So this is something that you when you first get in, you see those prices, and you haven't learned how the market works, how things are going to drop yet. You look at it and you go, I'll probably never get to have one of those. I'll never get to hold one of these. I'll never get to own one of these. This is something that's probably out of my ability to achieve right now, especially when you're brand new getting in, you know. And now, I mean, brand new getting in, you can go buy one of these all day long. Couldn't when I started, but that's okay. I think they're gorgeous, so it was always kind of a fun goal to get to make. Wasn't it, little buddy? You ready to go back in? Let's go back in. I've never kept one simply because I've never hit a female in one. If I hit a female in one of these, rest assured, I'll be keeping it. But since that hasn't happened, such is life. I've got one more snake I want to share with you before we go over to Patreon. And this one has only eaten, I think, one meal, maybe two. It's brand new. It's one of our first holdbacks of the year. But I think it's an excellent example of why you want to stick to some of those old school morphs. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous animal made, for the most part, from nothing but old genetics, man. Now, this is scaleless head, so do keep that in mind. So that would be the one that's not old school genetics. But otherwise, what you're looking at is, damn thing almost looks calico, but it's not. You're looking at a super pastel, so homozygous pastel, pinstripe spider. So this is a killer spinner, and it brings up a lot of the white because the spider has high white, and this one has very nice high white. Look at that, just awesome. I mean, I could probably say it's calico. People wouldn't doubt it, but I'm not that way. It's not calico. You can tell if you look, you know what you're looking for. Beautiful lines. It's almost a single scale wide when you get to that spinner, which is a pinstripe spider. Gorgeous. You can see too, it's not all cranky, wobble or anything. This is a beautiful snake. And if Kurt can see the head, you'll see this one is an excellent expression of the scaleless. It's kind of hard to see because the head's so light anyway, but there's a huge, huge patch of scales missing, so definitely got that going on for it. But the scaleless in this aspect isn't what's important. It's the fact we just talked about using those old school genes and you can make some really cool stuff. That's a breathtaking animal. It's made from genes that are all some of the very first morphs that were brought in that were non-recessives. I mean, spider, pinstripe, and pastel. That's what's here. And I'll be honest, like, it's one of the prettier snakes I have in my collection right now, I think. Kurt, what do you think about this animal? Yep, so Kurt gives us his one-word stamp of approval. This is the last pinstripe I really have to show you. So before I go, Kurt, is there any questions?
No.
All right, guys, we're going to jump up off of here, and we're going to head over to Patreon. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.